Shalom, shalom. We are continuing on now to bring out the ideas that are the well springs, the mine, the gold mine of ideas that lie behind our prayer system. So even though in one sense we're just talking about prayer, but we're not just talking about prayer, we're talking about our lives. We're talking about our relationship with Hashem, the Creator, the one who made us, the one who continually gives us life and existence. That's why prayer is so vital. It's an interface between the finite and the infinite. There's so many wonderful things to talk about in this area. And that's what we'll do. We'll continue on and just unfold the ideas that are embedded in our prayer system. We are presently now talking about the beginning of the first blessing of the Amidah, of the standing prayer. It's really the height, certainly near the top of the mountain of our prayers. We stand, so to speak, face to face, surrounded by, in the presence of the Shekhinah, the divine presence. You can imagine yourself in the presence of God. You can close your eyes, or you can put your eyes up within your forehead. And you can know that you're in a special place, a sacred place. According to the Baal Shem Tov, he gives an incredible insight into the prayer system. That usually in the Kabbalah we say we go up through the worlds and get higher and higher. The Baal Shem Tov indicates that all we have to do is take away what's preventing us from knowing that we're in the upper worlds. We don't have to go anywhere. One is traveling to get somewhere, what we call becoming. I always have to get higher and higher and higher. The other is being. The other is taking away what's preventing us from knowing the deeper level of our own lives that's here, that's been here the whole time, and is really unchanging throughout our entire lives. It's the underground wellspring of existence from which we draw our life. It's right here all the time. And that's what the prayers are about, is to get in touch with that. And once you know that, you can start earlier in the prayers. You can start from the very beginning. Every name, every time we call Hashem's name, can be for you an experience of eternity. You just have to allow it to happen. The very word, the very name of God that we say, Adonai, is behind that is the letters Yud and He and Vav and He, which is He who is, was, and will be forever. He who transcends time. He was the one who gives existence to all things, and it's happening right now. Any point in your prayers and any point in your life can be a Yom Kippur point, can be Ne'ilah, can be Musaf, can be any of the highest points, can be even prophecy, can be a sense of God's presence in your life, a moment in eternity. So all the more so right now when we bow and we come up in the Amidah, it's all the more so a moment to stop and to just be thankful. It's not a rational mental process. It's not trying to figure God out. It's just being to stand there in His presence, being able to stand in the presence. And as we said before, to stand in the mystery. Those are openings for you, for me, for all of us. And now we continue. Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu. You are our God, and you are the God of our ancestors. This is not the first place this phrase appears in our prayers. In terms of the formal prayers, it begins back in the Akedah. Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu. Zochreinu b'zichron tov milefanecha. Our God and God of our ancestors, remember us with a good remembrance before you. Uzchor lanu, Hashem Elokeinu. Abraham, Yitzhak, Yisrael, Vadecha, remember us back who we were when we were in the great ancestors that we have, that we come from, that each one of them had a different experience of you. And all together, it's from all of them together that we know who you are. The idea behind Eloheinu v'Elohei is very simple. It's not really in a chronological order. It should be Elohei Avotenu and Eloheinu. I mean, where do we hear about God first? From those who teach us, from those who came before us. And then we come to a more mature understanding of the fact that yes, He is my God and your God and our God too. Our God means a personal experience of God. It's what I call the vertical transmission. Whereas Elohei Avotenu, the God of our ancestors, is the horizontal. It's what's coming down to us. And the accumulated experiences, all the great teachers, who each one of them had their vertical experience, their ladder of experience of God, who went up to the top of their ladder and came down, and they passed it on to the next. Avraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, they passed it on. And so we get it like this, and then we can have our own. So the truth is, it's not telling us a chronological fact. It's amazing, because it's truly only when we know and we begin to understand that Hashem really is our God, that He cares for us, and it's a personal relationship. And then all of a sudden, all of the vertical relationships of all those who came before us are much more interesting. We want to know more about them. We want to know, what did they go through? They suffered, they struggled. I suffered. My struggling and my suffering now is meaningful in the context of a greater story of struggle and of suffering. Hashem puts us through difficult situations because He wants us to come to our greatness. He's putting me through difficult situations because He wants me to come to my greatness. He's putting you through difficult situations, life situations. And if you connect to the deeper level of your existence, you can draw the strength and the empowerment to really handle, to be balanced, to have equanimity, to have magnanimity, to be able to really be there even in difficult situations. You have to practice with the simple things first. You don't want to ask for difficult situations, but that's what it's about. And so the depth of Eloheinu, Elohei is so beautiful. It has to be that Eloheinu comes first, but not chronologically. For sure we learn about it from others. But what it really happens to us, and it begins to dawn on us, that really is a God. And I bless you with that. There's nothing I can do, nothing anybody can do for any of us to make it happen. I suggest knowing this information, though, is important and can be, therefore, the entry point into it. So, we'll stop here. This one thought, the vertical, that each one of us has the right, the birthright, to ask Hashem, please Hashem, let me know you. Let me know who I am. Give me insight into my life. Where do I get the information? From the Torah, from the stories of those who came before me. And I read those stories. They're no longer just stories about people who I don't know. They're the very root souls from which I come. God bless you. Shalom, shalom.